The world's largest and most profitable law firm, the one that makes $10 billion a year, has decided that it's now a tech company and it can make a better LLM than ChatGPT or Claude. Since I'm a lawyer who actually understands AI and how expensive this technology is to make, that's fascinating. Kirkland Ellis announced that they were going to spend $500 million developing their own AI platform. So imagine Petco, a pet company, has decided that it now wants to get into the shipping business. Imagine that Petco thinks it can do better than FedEx and UPS and all of the other 3PL companies out there. Regardless of the fact that it takes a huge investment into infrastructure, supplies, equipment, planes, everything like that. And now you might be wondering, well, a law firm might have some proprietary data, some proprietary information, which might make it actually better than a regular ChatGPT or Claude. However, most of what law firms produce, its really good work product, is in the public domain because it gets filed, which then means it's accessible by the public and by ChatGPT and Claude and other LLMs. But maybe Kirkland thinks that it has proprietary data, proprietary information, which means confidential client information. So is it going to be training its own LLM on confidential client information? And do clients know that? And are clients being compensated for that? Because that means confidential client information would be training an LLM, which is then producing information and work for other clients. And if you take out any confidential client information and communications, and you take out anything in the public domain, they're really not left with much else. And to them, of course, $500 million is not the biggest investment ever. It's less than 5% of their annual revenue, but it's not nothing either, because this is a big slap in the face, not just to big tech companies, but also to big legal tech companies like Harvey and Legora. These companies are banking on big law firms hiring them. It's also clear that a $500 million investment into a new technology would have to be signed off on by a board of directors of some sort. And you have to wonder, does that board of directors really understand AI? Do they know how expensive it is to train AI? Do they know what it would mean to train AI on any proprietary, aka confidential client information? We can assume the board of directors is not the youngest, most tech savvy crowd out there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.